Christmas greetings, dear friends across the world. My biggest wish for Christmas this year and for the year to come is more peace on earth. More peace in the hearts, more peace between people, more peace between countries, and yes, so much warfare and so much incendiary and divisive speech going on and leading to wars. What this is about here today is the first video of the 12 days of Christmas. This is a new idea that I just had a few days ago, and I thought, yep, let's go for it. So what I would like to offer you this year is day by day, from the first day of Christmas on today until the 12th day of Christmas, which is the 5th of January, the eve before Epiphany. For each sign in the zodiac, day by day, for each sign of the zodiac, outlook, gifts for the new year, starting of course with Aries. And you might want to also check out my article around the 12 days of Christmas and the zodiac, because it's actually quite amazing and magical how they also relate and line up. The 12 days of Christmas line up with the 12 signs in the zodiac, and actually simultaneously forward and backwards. So today, the first day of Christmas is not just Aries, it's also Pisces related. And we want to also tune in. If you would like to join me in this synchronistic journey, synchronistic invitation journey, let's see what comes up regarding Aries, regarding Pisces, and how the two link. So one thing I could think of immediately is also the letting go of the warfare state of the world around Pisces and Aries. Otherwise, more chaos, more interdependency from the Pisces side really leads to more war. And how can we raise vibrations to Pisces to actually channel the Aries energy into something different than warfare, but actually into vibrancy, new beginnings, and seeing things with fresh eyes, understanding, and starting new, starting a whole new cycle. That's why also Aries is all about begin. And so here we are beginning with this, and I have a few ideas, but let's see what comes forward, what comes forth, and how that speaks to you and your Aries energy. So the Aries, when I say this is for Aries in the new year, it's not just for the sun sign, it's also for your moon sign, it's for your rising sign, or maybe some prominent planets in Aries. And it's especially also for all of you who have Jupiter in Aries, where it is now. So Jupiter has been already in Aries for a trine phase, and trine is also Aries. Get it started and see how it goes. Otherwise, you might want to backtrack and come back to it or to something new. That's all very Aries. So Jupiter was already for trine phase in Aries from May 10th until October 27th. So in the spring, summer, early fall, pretty much corresponding here on the West Coast with a dry season. Also an energy that supported or amplified, I should say, everything Aries. So everything to actually step forward, be brave, be bold, or just be innocent and show up. And also show up for yourself, show up as yourself. Face what's in front of you. Aries literally rules the face. Now, Jupiter just came back on board with Aries on the 20th of December. And right afterwards, we had here on the West Coast and other parts of the world as well, of the northern hemisphere, we had this big cold impact and snow impact that created some chaos on the streets and was at the same time pretty magical. So just a few days. Aries is also often just short and short, but makes an impact and shows us also what we might see more of, but this is just the beginning. It's also a theme of Aries. So we could see more of these temperature roller coasters, complements what's going on with the climate and all its all the contributing factors, especially the human ones, especially of course, in so many ways, in so many known and yet not discovered and uncovered ways. So yeah, we had this precedent, this initiation, which is also Aries. What's new and exciting or agitating? And yeah, and so begin now. Novelties, new situations, all of that is Aries. And Jupiter now in Aries, of course, affects everybody with something in Aries. Also, if you have your Jupiter in Aries, as I said. So I can't exactly give you all the phases when Jupiter was in Aries, but it's approximately every 12 years. So it would have been also 12 years ago, 24 years ago, and so on. And if you have 12th, 24th, 36th, 48th, 60th birthday this year, chances are your Jupiter is also in Aries. So then you have a Jupiter return. And so a Jupiter wants us to see things. Jupiter is about understanding. It's like amplifying things so that we really see it better, and it's magnifying, making things bigger. And so it wants us to to understand better what's going on in this new reality of the world, and also what's going on when there is so much warfare and what the contributing factors are. And can we get out of them? Or is this the beginning of more war? So how can we outgrow war? Can we outgrow war? Is that possible? At the same time, Mars, the ruler of Aries, is now in Gemini retrograde until the 12th of January. It only goes retro every 2 years. So this is another phase since end of October until mid-January for Mars to be retrograde. So it also shows us the old dynamics, the patterns around how wars are sustained, how they are started and sustained. So in this case, from the Gemini perspective, where Mars is, in other words, words can lead to war, and there's so much division, so much controversy, and mental war is already going on, plus a diversity, a whole spectrum with Gemini. It's like puzzle pieces and many contributing factors, many questions also around this war and others, and also many war zones are happening. Now, contributing to that is also Chiron. The wounded healer archetype is also in Aries since 2019 until 2027. This time for a bit more extended time. The cycle is irregular, so as Chiron is in some signs longer than in others. In this it has a 50-year cycle altogether, but in Aries, in Pisces it was long, and in Aries also long, having to do with the elliptical orbit. And so anyway, Chiron being now in Aries, having shown us already how a lot about this medical warfare. Chiron literally also rules medicine, but not so much the modern and established medicine, rather the organic natural medicine that is basically the medicine comes from experiencing the process of wounding and letting the wound, letting the process, letting the journey show us what really is healing. That's more like the Chiron medicine. Now, Jupiter, remember Jupiter is now in Aries, will meet Chiron on March 12th. So Jupiter meets Chiron every 13 years, and it's a 12-year cycle. And this will be another phase where we want to understand more what's going on with this new world, what's going on with the war in the world, and can we also be more in a positive place rather than in a bigger, seeing things in a bigger way rather than getting pulled into the fighting mode and maybe also fighting for survival, which is also Aries, and what needs to be seen and what needs to be understood and how can we outgrow what we've gotten ourselves into. So that applies, of course, to many wars and to many controversial situations which we have already. So many, right? So Jupiter can make things bigger, but not just to more and more and more of it, also to understand, okay, enough already. And now we get it. We get the understanding of all of this. So for Aries, March will be huge, not only because Jupiter and Chiron come together on March 12th at the center of Aries, actually between 14 and 15 degrees. It's now Chiron halfway through Aries. So if you were born in mid Aries, in other words, early April, you definitely experience this Chiron Jupiter impact. So there could be something around you where it's so important with Jupiter and will be so healing to either step forward, be brave, do something new, feel more alive again, or also be bold and so see the world with new eyes and be a new you. A new you wants to come forward. If you especially have mid-Aries something, could be the sun, the moon, the ascendant, but also the whole phase of Jupiter going through Aries, and will go now through Aries till May 16th. You, everybody with Aries gets a boost of energy, and so basically this is something, taking initiative and showing up, and not necessarily with a plan or with the old model and the old pattern, more being in the now and being present. So what else is going on for Aries? So just mentioning so far, so in the old year, a little review, in 2022, from May 10th until October 27th, when Jupiter was in Aries for the first time, it went as far as 8 degrees. So that would be in the calendar around March 29th. So end of March, people would have had already an Jupiter impact. And now more to come, and this energy, they get a double dose basically. This energy comes again for you until early February or mid-February. And so what's super important for Aries is the month of March. Could be a birth month already, and starting right with the spring equinox. On the spring equinox 2023, we have just, when is that? 2 hours or so later. Let me just do the math again. 9:01, 10:23. So an hour and 25 minutes later, after the spring equinox, we have a new moon. So that is also super rare and a big Aries boost. I just set up the chart for that spring equinox new moon, and here it is. So check out all that Aries energy. Here is a Neptune's still back in Pisces, but the new moon just on the brink of Aries, Sun and Moon together in the first degree of Aries, Mercury in Aries, Jupiter and Chiron also still there. Jupiter has barely passed Chiron at that time. So that spring equinox is a big boost into the new world that we're stepping into, the new consciousness, the new aliveness, and showing up for yourself as yourself when, if not now. And the spring equinox will also catalyze the Saturn going into Pisces on March 7th. It's the first new moon after that. And Pluto going for the first time into Aquarius 2 days later on the 23rd of March, 2 days after spring equinox. So that spring equinox is really a firecracker. It's quite a boost for whatever you would like to initiate. And so Aries is hugely featured in the new year, especially the first half of the new year, or I should say until May, when May 16th, when Jupiter enters Taurus and the energy gets more grounded. But first, it's all about new beginnings and also showing up and being fresh, being you, being in the moment, and not channeling that energy into survival mode or into being too much in a fighting mode, right? Or competitive mode, right? All of that can be very Aries. So, wishing you well for this Aries, the upcoming Aries year. And I will also link below the article for Jupiter and Aries, and among other links. And I see you again tomorrow for Taurus. Have a beautiful Christmas day and good start into the new year and good start into the 12 days of Christmas if you'd like to follow me on other ones. Take care. Bye.